CBS News Bay Area Afternoon Edition with Ann Mekovic.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Veronica Macias in for Ann today. It is the third week of the partial government shutdown with no end in sight yet. And some Bay Area counties, they're now preparing for the possibility of people losing their food benefits. Today in Alameda County, supervisors here are considering approving a $10 million emergency funding here for the funding request coming from a network of food organizations saying that the money would help secure food and distribute it to vulnerable communities. The Alameda County Community Food Bank says about 170,000 people in the county receive CalFresh benefits. That's about 10% of the county's population. And later this afternoon, San Mateo County supervisors will join community leaders here to discuss food insecurity where they live and an issue to call to action to support the most needed in the community. As we get a closer timeline here to Thanksgiving as we approach it, Governor Gavin Newsom is warning that millions of people in our state who depend on food benefits may not get their November payments. The governor's press office posting on X last night saying in part, if the government doesn't reopen by Thursday, CalFresh benefits may not be funded in November. Newsom's office says about 5.5 million Californians depend on those SNAP benefits. And as the federal government shutdown extends now into day 21, Senate Republicans met with President Trump over lunch in the White House Rose Garden. The president said, quote, Republicans will not be extorted into giving into Democrats' demands, an indication that any end to the shutdown remains far off. Democratic leaders have implored the president to get more involved and kickstart negotiations over a potential to extend health care tax credits. Meanwhile, House Speaker Mike Johnson and Senate Majority Leader John Thune both said today that the November 21st funding deadline in the GOP bill might need to be extended if the shutdown drags on. Right now, we're going to take a live look in San Francisco, where this afternoon, the mayor and supervisors, they're expected to get into specifics about the city's preparedness in a potential National Guard deployment. As President Trump continues to threaten to send federal troops to San Francisco to clean up crime, Mayor Daniel Lurie says those troops do not have the power to help San Francisco tackle its biggest problem. That's drugs on the street of San Francisco.
I am deeply grateful to the members of our military for their service to our country. But the National Guard does not have the authority to arrest drug dealers, and sending them to San Francisco will do nothing to get fentanyl off the streets, nor will it make our city safer.
And leaders in Alameda County also taking action as immigration enforcement increases nationwide. Supervisors just unanimously approving more than $3.5 million in emergency funding to boost protections for undocumented families and to improve coordination among county agencies and community partners. The money will help expand the county's rapid response hotline, legal defense programs, and community outreach efforts as well. Turning to our first alert weather now and a live look outside for you. You could barely see the Golden Gate Bridge there. We've had mild temperatures, but changes are on the way. Here's meteorologist Jessica Birch.
All right, let's take a quick look at what we can expect as we head outside. Starting off with today, it's still a warm and dry day for us today, widespread throughout the Bay Area, especially in our inland spots where we're anywhere up to around 8 degrees above average in San Jose, 10 degrees above average all the way into Redwood City. So I'm turning on the temperature contour map just to kind of paint that picture that if you see yellow or orange on the screen, daytime highs, they're not necessarily where they should be for this time of year. But I mean, 3 to 5 degrees, no one's riding home about that. But I will say one thing, as we head into the next couple days, we do have some changes in the forecast for us. We're talking about clouds sweeping in from the south as early as tomorrow, bringing in some light showers, just sprinkles here and there. Really what we're gearing up for, though, is this weekend as storms start to push in from the north, bringing in cooler weather, stormy conditions widespread throughout the bay as this atmospheric river starts to make its way right around the corner into our neck of the woods. I'm going to have more on this coming up in a bit, but for the meantime, I'm going to just drop this so I can paint the picture one more time. You head outside today, we're talking about 80s in the forecast from the Santa Clara Valley off into the East Bay. Nice and warm for now. Big changes on the way right around the corner as we head into this weekend. Back to you.
PG&E and emergency crews are working to remove a downed tree by Gregory Lane and Cleveland Road in Pleasant Hill. The tree falling overnight, taking down power lines down with it in the process. Here's a look at that damage, though, from overhead, where you could see this tree snapped from the root there. Massive tree. PG&E is on the scene to assess and repair the damage. Pleasant Hill Police asking drivers to avoid Gregory Lane between Cleveland Road and Moiso Lane. Marin County's health department is set to introduce an ordinance to ban the sale of vaping devices in unincorporated areas of the county. It comes just after a history-making vote in Tiburon last week. The town could become the third city in the nation to ban all sales of tobacco products. The ordinance still needs to undergo a second reading and a vote by next month. The idea originating from a group of high school students. In Solano County, there's a $500 reward right now to bring this little guy home, Tyson. Vallejo police say that the English bulldog was dog-napped on Friday night by a couple that was armed with a knife. Officers say a man and a woman held the dog's owner as he was walking his dog near Marin and Kentucky streets. He handed over his wallet with $100 inside, but they demanded the dog too. The suspects, they took off in a white four-door sedan believed to be a Honda Accord. We've also reached out to Vallejo police for any updates. A close call here with a school bus has now federal regulators taking a closer look at Waymo's self-driving cars. Here's the video of when it happened, a robo-taxi in Georgia passing a stopped school bus as children were getting off that bus. Waymo claims that the car couldn't see the flashing lights there or the stop sign on the bus from its angle. The Mountain View-based company says that it's already rolling out software fixes. The National Highway Traffic Safety Administration now investigating. A check on Wall Street for you. Here's a live look at the big board. Right now, the Dow in the green up about 250 points, boosted by strong earnings reports from companies like Coca-Cola and 3M. Netflix will report its earnings after the closing bell today. Thousands of websites are back up and running following Monday's massive Amazon cloud computing outage. The glitch lasted for several hours and disrupted internet service all around the world, including trading sites and money exchanges. CBS News business analyst Jill Schlesinger has some advice for what people can do to protect themselves in this new digital age.
When you see a company like Robinhood, where you can be trading, or Coinbase, where you're trading your Bitcoin, go down, it's very upsetting. However, if you're such a huge trader that you can't absorb a few hours down, go have a second account. If you're worried about accessing your money, remember, no banks were impacted by this, but people have been coming to me and saying, well, should I have cash on hand? Hey, there are risks to that also.
Amazon Web Services blaming the outage on issues with a domain name system, adding that normal operations were restored by 6 p.m. Eastern Time on Monday. Still ahead here at noon and streaming on CBS News Bay Area.
Do you ever feel like staying in one place a little longer? There's a name for that. It's called slow travel. I'm Wendy Gillette in Marina, California, with more on getting to know your vacation destination instead of just checking it off a list.
Yes, please sign us up. Plus, one of their leaders was injured, but still making an impact. Fred Warner helped toward the 49ers win on Sunday. That's ahead in your Red and Gold report.
Every guy into the locker room. Sometimes.
More travelers are taking the slow road these days. Slow travel has become a popular trend since the pandemic as a greater number of Americans choose less busy and crowded itineraries, letting the destination shape their trip. CBS News correspondent Wendy Gillette explains.
Leaf peepers are popping up all over the Northeast this month, including at Scroon Lake in New York's Adirondack Mountains. It's one example of slow travel, when nature and an immersive experience shape the schedule, rather than packed to-do lists. The luxury travel network Virtuoso has seen the trend grow in popularity.
People are looking for that pause from their daily rush of life to absorb and soak in the beauty of the destination that they're in.
Rides on a pontoon boat, Listening to live music around the fire pit, roasting marshmallows, hikes in the forest, and relaxing at the pool are some of the slow travel offerings from the lodge at Scroon Lake, where comfort food and drinks and 2-floor cabins with views calm the pace.
People are by the fire reading a book, their kids are running around and playing, and there's so much laughter and happiness.
On the West Coast, travelers can get very up close with nature at Carmel Valley Ranch's Bee Class in Monterey County, California.
There's probably about 500, 700 bees in this train.
The resort, one of those we stayed at for a special rate, offers scenic views, farm animals to observe, and a spa where products are made with lavender grown on site.
We give guests a number of options to really unwind, slow down their pace.
But nothing spells slow travel quite like the ocean. The Sanctuary Beach Resort here in nearby Marina has rooms overlooking the dunes and Pacific.
Their steps from cauldrons lit up every night at sunset. Relaxed activities include beach walks and oyster shell decorating. Nearby, gourmet restaurants like Chez Noir and Carmel utilize local ingredients for leisurely meals.
They call it the salad bowl of America. So, most of the artichokes that are grown in America and the garlic are from right, 15 minutes up the road.
You can browse all that bounty at local farm markets or drop into some wineries for more contemplative time spent only as you wish.
Yes, please sign us up. Celebrations for Diwali continue, including here in the Bay Area and Fremont, a big Diwali event kicking off at 3 p.m. at Gurdwara Shahid. You can expect large crowds out there and partial road closures around the area near Mission Boulevard. Those festivities, they run through 11 p.m. Back to our first alert weather forecast, taking a live look outside. We're going to go ahead and check back in with meteorologist Jessica Birch.
Well, it's honestly a perfect forecast for Diwali. I mean, it's dry, it's warm out there throughout the Bay Area. We're not dealing with stormy weather yet, but that's going to look a lot different as we head into the next, even 72 hours. I'm going to pull that map back up real fast. I want to show you our daytime highs once more for our forecast today. 80s anywhere from the Santa Clara Valley off into the East Bay. 80s stretched all the way up into the North Bay, but I want to talk about the storm that's right around the corner. And actually, let's tilt the camera a little bit more south, because as we head into our forecast tomorrow, temperatures are going to drop fast as this area of low pressure pushes through, potentially bringing in some sprinkles for us. But turn the camera quickly this way. Watch what happens by Friday heading into Saturday. We have storms coming in from the north at that point, and that's what we're going to keep a close eye on as we head into the next 72 hours, especially as we dive into this weekend too. Temperatures are going to cool down a lot from that first system pushing in from the south, and I think that's important to note, because not only are we going to be dealing with cooler temperatures tomorrow, back to average we go, we're also going to see about 1/100 of an inch of rain accumulate just from Wednesday's system alone. Once we head into Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, right now what the models are showing, it's closer to around about 1/100 of an inch of rain. The more south we go, about an inch to an inch and a half the more north we go. So closer to Napa, Sonoma, that's what we're going to keep a close eye on right around the corner as that atmospheric river pushes in from the north to the south. So what does that do for us this week? Let's start off with our inland areas. This paints a really good picture actually just next to me. Today, sunny, warm, it's Diwali, it's looking beautiful. Tomorrow, that system comes through from the south, bringing in some cooler weather as that cold air mass pushes in from south to north. We'll dry up, things are mild for Thursday. Friday kicks off pretty mild, and then once we dive into this weekend, that's when that atmospheric river sweeps in from the north to the south. And that's what we're going to keep a close eye on when it comes to really significant rainfall totals right around the corner as we dive into this weekend. So it is going to be a stormy weekend for us, not only in our inland spots, but of course along the bay too. Take a look behind me. Temperatures starting to jump from the 70s to the 60s, and then we'll hold on tight to 60s, wrapping up this week. Heading into the stormy weekend, we'll start to dry up on the back end of this weekend. By Monday, there's partly cloudy skies in the forecast for us. Veronica?
Maybe we take that evening walk tonight. Thanks, Jess. Taking a live look at Chase Center. The new NBA season tips off tonight, but the Warriors are on the road in Los Angeles to take on the Los Angeles Lakers. Still, Dub Nation can cheer on Steph Curry and the team with the watch party over at Thrive City. That starts at 7 tonight. The Warriors' home opener at Chase is on Thursday. Good luck, guys. 49ers captain Fred Warner won't suit up again this year. The linebacker is out for the rest of this season because of an ankle injury. But as Matt Lively tells us in the Red and Gold Report, he still found a way to contribute to Sunday's win over the Falcons.
This is the Audi Red and Gold Report.
The 49ers are 5-2 after Sunday night's win over the Falcons as San Francisco continues to put up wins despite having many of their stars on the injured list. Linebacker Fred Warner may be out for the rest of the season with an ankle injury, but that didn't stop him from having an impact on the team on Sunday night. Warner was shown on the video board firing up the crowd, but that might not have helped the team as much as you'd expect.
He is the aura farming king. I will say that. How about Fred Warner being shown on the scoreboard, and we almost had to go on a silent count because we couldn't hear a play call? How selfish of Fred Warner. Goodness gracious.
On Saturday, he showed up in the meeting room and surprised us. He watched film with us, and he didn't give any pointers, but he allowed us to learn, and he just showed us that he's still here. And for somebody to do that, man, he showed that he really cares, and it's not always about him.
For the Red and Gold Report, I'm Matt Lively.
Welcome back. Workers could pay 6 to 7% more for their employer-sponsored health plans next year. That's according to a survey from consulting firm Mercer. The study finding several reasons for the jump, including costly treatments like GLP-1 weight loss drugs, plus an aging population that uses more medical services. The Kaiser Family Foundation estimating that more than 164 million Americans get their insurance coverage through an employer. Fewer U.S. children are developing peanut allergies, according to a new research study that it may be because parents are exposing them to allergy-triggering foods earlier in life. According to a study that was published by the Journal of Pediatrics, there has been a 43% drop in peanut allergy since 2017. 2 years earlier, pediatricians started recommending that infants be given small amounts of allergy-triggering foods like milk, eggs, and nuts. Researchers believe that since then, about 60,000 children have avoided developing peanut allergies. Still ahead, it sounds like something out of a movie. New details about that daytime heist of jewels at the Louvre Museum and the one item that thieves left behind. Finally, we're getting new details about a brazen daytime heist at the Louvre Museum in Paris. The prosecutor says the crown jewels that were stolen were worth here an estimated 88 million euros. That's $102 million. And authorities in France, they're still trying to find the thieves out there. Officials say the heist happened in under 8 minutes on Sunday, and the thieves entered on the backside of the museum using a basket lift and cut through a window. They smashed display cases and took 9 items, including a pearl and a diamond tiara made for Napoleon III's wife, and a sapphire studded necklace and earrings, too. In their getaway, though, the thieves did leave behind a diamond studded crown. Authorities suspect that the heist is linked to an organized crime network. Beautiful jewels. That's it for the afternoon edition. Remember, we're also streaming 24/7 on the free CBS News app. Have a great afternoon, everyone.